voices in the night, yeah. Every move gives me a fright. Well, I'm afraid, but I won't run. Talking to the dead is fun.
Welcome to Estes Park, Colorado,
We're bringing you up here to the Elkhorn Lodge with 122 years of incredible history.
that we are hoping it's still walking around.
We brought our investigation team up here to see what we could find.
In 1859, a Missouri gold miner came across a valley with majestic mountains and plenty of open land. The miner was Joel Estes, and he had just discovered the valley that would soon bear his name. The first of Estes Park's permanent residents was William E. James. In the spring of 1875, along with his wife Edna and 3 young sons, Homer, Charles, and baby Howard, James had staked a claim on the land that would in time become home to the Elkhorn Lodge. Though James had no intention of building a lodge to house guests, with a portion of the Fall River flowing through the property, it had its own water supply and plenty of grazing land for cattle. Because of the surrounding beauty and fresh, clean air, many people wandered onto the property during the summer months and begged to stay a while. But with only the tiny house James had built for his family, there was nowhere for these outdoor-loving people to stay. So tents were pitched for temporary lodging. The following winter, James decided to build cabins for the guest he knew would be returning with the warm weather. As word got around, more and more people would show up at the ranch expecting accommodations. So each winter another cabin would be built to house them. James soon figured out that catering to adventure-seeking tourists was much more lucrative than raising cattle, and so the Elkhorn Lodge Guest Ranch was born. However, American pioneers were not the only ones interested in Estes Park. People from as far away as England were also infatuated with this newly discovered gem in the Rocky Mountains. One such man was Wyndham Thomas Wyndham Quinn, the 4th Earl of Dunraven. Always looking for adventure and investment opportunities, while in Denver, Dunraven was informed of Estes Park's abundance of wild game and headed up for a hunting trip. He became so enamored with the region, he was determined to acquire as much of the land as he possibly could. And acquire it he did. Most of it, many say, through fraudulent means. James Nugent, or Rocky Mountain Jim as he was known, acted as a guide to many adventurers in the area and was hired by Lord Dunraven to lead some of his guests on a hunting trip. A quarrel ensued between the mountain man and a member of the party, which left the gentleman in fear for his life. You see, Jim was always thought of as a fine guy when he was sober, but he did have an affection for the bottle, and when he drank, he was known to get out of hand. One such incident, due to his state of mind from a healthy dose of whiskey, was an unfortunate encounter with a grizzly. When all was said and done, the huge bear left Jim for dead, with life-threatening wounds, a broken arm, and an empty eye socket. It's said that Dunraven took immediate action on behalf of his friend and contacted a man in his employ named Griff Evans to remedy the problem. It's been documented that the bullet from Evans's gun wounded the mountain man, which led to his death several months later. There have been reports on what appears to be a mountain man roaming the property. Is it Rocky Mountain Jim? We may never know for sure. But for the witnesses who've seen him, they know they've encountered the restless spirit of a man who lived and died doing the only thing he knew in the mountains of Colorado. After raising 3 boys, Edna and William James were delighted with the new addition to their family. On January 6, 1880, William and Edna were blessed with a daughter. They named her Eleanor. Eleanor loved life at the lodge, exploring every inch of the property, climbing Man Mountain, and riding her beloved horses. The James family became close friends with many of the early guests. So much so, in fact, that one generous guest even started the first school in Estes Park for the James boys. With very few children in the park, one of the 3-room cabins on the Elkhorn property was used for the schoolhouse.
Elkhorn Lodge is a very special place because it's the last of the old lodges, old tourist lodges in this part of Colorado. Estes Park is a place where much of Colorado's tourist history was born and matured, and this is the last surviving remnant of a remarkable era in our local history and in our state's history as well. A good deal of it's authentic, which is really interesting. In fact, you can take a look at the early photographs and chart the development of the lodge from the earliest beginnings in the early 1870s to the main lodge in 1900. The first schoolhouse in Estes Park is here. We also have a building called the Chapel, which is a wonderful example of Western stick architecture. This is a very remarkable place.
Well, we are a group that are made up of historians and tech specialists that believe that history is still walking around and in places that are just like this, over 100 years old, virtually unchanged. And we also believe in a theory, of course from quantum physics, it's called the M1 theory, that of course says that there are over 11 dimensions. And we believe that the paranormal activity that's walking around, especially here, is stuck somewhere in between those dimensions.
On this investigation, we brought with us a new piece of equipment called a hyperspectral camera. This camera picks up 256 bands of frequencies beyond visible light, beyond infrared. And with all the claims of the paranormal activity here, I'm hoping we can pick up something with this thing. So we're going to test it out and see what we get. Okay, come in and set this up in the hallway.
Don't go too fast.
I'm going to shoot it down that hallway for a couple hours and see what we can pick up. The image that we caught on Night 3's investigation, kind of wondering what it might be. We've showed it to the rest of the team and kind of wondering, what's your opinion on what this is?
My first thought when I saw it was the same thing that I have seen in the lodge before. Prior to that, we had been in the dining room and I had told you guys that I saw some kind of hunchback shadow figure running past the windows. And when I first played that back, that was my first thought, was that's the same exact figure. And that night we did a complete lockdown. There was no guest in the lodge, and the only people that were here were accountable down here in front of the fireplace where I'm sitting now.
All the team was down here.
Yes.
So what do you feel that is?
Well, there's a lot of history here. I mean, it's over 100 years old. So it could be just a guest that loved this place. It could be somebody who worked here, but I really believe it has a lot to do with the history.
As the James children reached adulthood, Homer went off to the University of Colorado to obtain his medical degree, while Howard helped out with the lodge. Eleanor married a Dutch nobleman named Peter Hondius, and they made the Elkhorn their permanent home. Charles was not as fortunate. He contracted a deadly virus that would end his life at the young age of 20.
Are you Charles? No.
Is it okay if we call you Charles?
Charles always preferred to be called Charlie.
How about Charlie?
Okay. Oh.
Charlie's okay? Do you know you've passed? Well, I'm sorry. Do you know you're in a different place than us? How did Charlie pass?
He got really sick.
I'm telling you, it was over on my head. You need to take a picture of me now. My head's gone.
I grew up at the Elkhorn. It was the family homestead. My grandfather, I understand, got in here in 1876, I believe, and started building the ranch house, the original old lodge, and they were trying to run cattle like everyone else up here, and they gradually shifted over to the tourist business. People came up and wanted to have a meal, have a bed, and look at the scenery, and it turned out that this was going to be a bigger thing than the cattle ever would be, so they added, as they went, they added units to the lodge and wound up with the buildings the way they are now. My mother was working here with the family and ran the office, and my Uncle Howard died in about 1929, I think it was. My mother wound up running the thing during the Depression, and she sold it about 1940 to my uncle's estate, and my cousin took it over, and he ran it until about 1958, I think it was. This is a favorite place of my childhood, the barn. It grew up here, and we had usually about 65 head of horses, sometimes up to 100 and sometimes somewhat fewer.
You know, there's an old legend about a white horse that runs through the property, runs through the barn, all across the property. White horse with red eyes. Supposed to be some sort of a protector of burial grounds and sacred grounds. It's dark, stormy nights, bad weather conditions. It's kind of a protective spirit. It's not unusual to see something like that around here.
The Elkhorn's history dates back to 3,000-year-old Native American vision quests. Legend has it that Man Mountain behind the lodge was sacred ground. If you look closely, you can see the profile of a tribal chief.
Elkhorn property was both sides of the river, from the road on over, and about halfway up Old Man Mountain there. And it was a great place. We'd be up and back with the horses, playing cowboys and Indians. If you To stay on bareback, you got to be an Indian, otherwise you had to be a cowboy.
We bought this from the James family. They were the ones who it was a ranch, and so we bought it from them. They had already developed it into a resort. Old Man Mountain has been a very popular place. Most people thought it was publicly owned. It really isn't. It's privately owned, most of it. It's a sacred mountain from the Indians, so there were a lot of artifacts up there, and it's a wonderful place.
Mr. Fix-It. That's what the James family called 80-year-old Uncle John. He'd come to the lodge every summer as the unofficial handyman. He was always there for the guest who'd lost their luggage key or the occasional plumbing problem.
About a month ago, I came upstairs to do my morning check, found this door to the attic laying on the ground here smashed into pieces. I took it downstairs and put it back together and wondered how it could have come out of up there and why it was smashed. But I put it back up in there and came back up a couple days later, and it had been moved again, and you could just see the edge of it up there. So I got a ladder and got back up and put it back in place, and I started to wonder if I was somehow being drawn to that attic for some reason. So I replaced it and decided after another couple days that I should go up and check it out, and went up through the attic. We found a leak in the pipe up there and fixed the pipe, and we've never had another incident. We have stories of an old maintenance man here that gets upset when you fix things without his permission, and we felt like he was drawing us up there and letting us know where the leak was so that we'd fix it and wouldn't damage the building anymore.
Is there anything here, John, that needs to be repaired that you were trying to tell us?
I'm just not getting any worse.
Yeah? Could you tell us into my machine that's in front of me so that we know what you're trying to say? Okay, we'll listen for it, John. We're trying to figure out where you'd like to have your picture taken, John, so that we can see you. The dance hall? Wonder why you like to hang out in the dance hall. Is it from the old times? Is there still dancing going on, John?
Leave.
That's what it said, leave.
Okay, what do you want to leave, John? Is there something here you're saying to leave?
We need to go to the dance hall.
You want us to go to the dance hall now, John?
One guest said that late one night in the room before drifting off to sleep, he and his wife heard water running in the room next door, like the faucet in a bathtub. This normally would not have been unusual, except that the couple knew they were the only guests in that section of the hall. When the man got up to investigate, he walked through the unlocked door to the next room and found it completely empty. No luggage, no lights. The bed was still made. No human anywhere. Just the steady stream of water pouring into the bathtub.
The bathroom light turns on all by itself. Nobody had been in that cabin for a couple days. And then usually what will happen is the cabin light in H will turn on, and then we'll turn it off, and it kind of will go down the row of cabins, skip a few, and different bathroom lights will turn on.
What else is going on with Cabin H out there? There's supposedly a story.
Yeah, we had a guest come in and complain. Was really angry that I would rent a room, a cabin to them the way I did. And I was really confused, so I asked him what they were talking about. And he said the beds weren't made. So I went with him to check it out. And when I went into the cabin, each bed was stripped completely, even the comforter, and wadded up in a ball and laid in the middle of the bed. And the strange thing about that is before they arrived, I had checked the cabin to make sure that it was clean and ready to go before their arrival, so the beds were made, and no one else was in that cabin prior to their arrival.
Maddie was an 8-year-old girl with blonde hair who lived on the property with her family in 1874, before it was settled by the James family. She revealed that she was a laundress and very much a tomboy.
We're trying to figure out what hit you.
Somebody else hurt you?
Was it a window that maybe blew open and hit you? Did something fall off the building? Did you get hit in the face? Yeah, like right above your nose. Yeah. Would you kind of let me know that when we first came up? It was in the front of her face.
Whoa, there you go.
And her chest hurt. Her heart was hurting. Yeah, see.
Wonder if it was a gun.
Were you shot?
Oh my God.
It was an accident? Okay.
She was shot in the head, but was extremely adamant that it was an accident. We later found out that one day, while playing with her older brother, they came across a shotgun leaning against a tree.
Daddy, can I play with that? Oh, come on, let me play with it. Oh, no, give me!
The gun accidentally went off when Maddie's own hand slipped off the barrel and hit the trigger.
I'm feeling emotions. I'm
Me
crying
too.
here in a
Me
second.
too. You know what?
Does it make you really sad?
We're sad for you. Absolutely.
I can feel, we can both feel how sad you are.
I think it's coming with us. I can still feel tingling, feel like it's with me.
Maddie now resides on the back stairs of the Elkhorn, unaware that she is no longer of this earth.
We heard a cowboy pull up and ask if there was a place he could stable his horse.
Any place I can tie up my horse?
And I got up and told him the stables weren't open yet. As I walked to the balcony and looked over and there's nobody there. And I said, son, there's nobody here. Did you hear that man? And he said, yes, I did. It can't be. He's got to be there. So he come up and looked over the balcony and looked all around in amazement, and he was a definite non-believer until that day.
One woman was reading in bed when she saw a figure out of the corner of her eye. An apparition of a cowboy appeared to come right through the wall. He stood at the foot of the bed for a few moments and then just disappeared. Needless to say, Chapter 3 would have to wait.
Someone has come up with pop history, and a lot of people love to do it, claims their bodies buried in here. And the family knows nothing about them. I know nothing about them. My cousin knows nothing about them.
What they used to, interestingly enough, to locate these graves were the modern counterpart of a divining rod. We came to a spot across the river, not far from the hotel, lined with stones, and we got some positive readings on the fact that there may well be bodies buried down there.
Here we are at the back stairs of the Elkhorn Lodge. They are the service stairs that have been used for decades for the staff to come and go up to the laundry room, around to the kitchen, and all the back goings on of the hotel. The stairs look nice and wide and sturdy, but they have a very spooky history. Come on up and I'll tell you about it. And here we are at the top of the stairs and in the most haunted part of the hotel. The story that goes with this area is there was a homeless man that lived here at some time in the distant past, and they kept trying to evict him, and he kept avoiding and evading every attempt to get him out of here. And he wasn't a kind, gentle person. He caused a lot of problems, drank a lot, fought a lot, and they decided they had to get him out. So there ended up being a fight on the stairs, kind of like a barroom brawl. And the man's back was broken and he died. And he still won't leave. He's in there.
We'd like to start off this evening by asking you your name. Is it okay that I'm in here? Okay, I heard that. Can I get a 1 knock for yes and a 2 knocks for no? So how have you been? Definitely picking up some audio interference. Was that you? Getting knocks. Can you knock again to let me know it's you? Thank you. Can you turn a flashlight on for me? Got a knock. Hey John, can you turn on that flashlight for me right in front of me? Can you make the K2 go off? Are you still here?
Just lost battery?
Yeah, battery just died.
Mine's just about to die too.
Which is strange because I had half an hour left a minute ago. No, it just drained my battery.
Whoa.
John doesn't want to cooperate
John?
at all.
Late one night, of course after investigation, about 3 and 4 o'clock in the morning, I hear what sounds like taffeta moving right outside my door of our room, and then disappeared. Now, taffeta is a very special sounding material. It has just a different sound. And then, not too long after that, I hear what sounds like boot steps coming up the stairs, really heavy. Just at the top of the stairs, and gone. Then, not too long after that, I hear what sounds like furniture moving right below us. Now, I know there was nobody around. In fact, that whole lodge was quiet. Everybody was sleeping. And the next morning, I talked to everybody, found JB, one of our other investigators, and she said she heard the same thing. Now, I talked to everybody, were any of you moving furniture around? Of course, they looked at me like I was crazy like usual, and but nobody owned up to it. So, it's very unusual.
One woman recalls staying at the lodge with her family while vacationing in Estes Park. She and her husband occupied one room, while her children slept next door. The next morning, the children couldn't say enough about the nice lady who watched over them through the night. Their mother asked what the woman looked like. She had old-time clothing and wore her hair in a bun, they replied. When the woman described the kind lady to the staff, they said there was no one staying there matching her description. It did, however, sound like someone who used to work there. Back in 1879.
If anybody's here tonight that'd like to come and talk with us, we have some devices that'll help us do that. Can you come forward? We would love to meet you.
At the time, the barn on the James property was the tallest in the area. The sturdy, well-built structure housed horses, equipment, and feed for the animals. But it was also said to be used for something a little less ordinary. The local law enforcement found that it fit their needs perfectly.
We won't hurt you. You're safe. Tim.
There we go.
Thank you, Tim.
How old are you, Tim?
Fire.
Fire.
There's a fire on the mountain.
Are you talking about the fire on the mountain? Tim, how old are you? I'm just gonna stay here if you want to talk. Go ahead. We can hear you. Was there a fire in the barn? Did you work here? Did you live here? Do you know Charlie?
Second.
Second, okay.
Though contact has been made with some unsettled spirits in the hayloft, they seem to be happy. just hanging around. But there's another, more unassuming spirit, perhaps a former ranch hand, who seems to genuinely enjoy his modern-day counterparts.
Eddie, are you around tonight?
His name is Eddie, and he lets it be known that he particularly likes coffee, cookies, and the occasional smoke.
Hi, Eddie.
Good to see you.
Wow, that's really bright tonight.
Eddie, you got coffee, you got cookies, and you got a cigarette. We didn't forget.
Well, Eddie has turned out to be quite the ghost. We now know that he is 25, or at least made it to 25. He died in about 1934.
Eddie, when you worked here, was it in the decade, let's see, the 20s? The 30s? 1931? 1932? 1933?
He worked as a ranch hand at the Elkhorn and continues to seem to be working there even today. He knows Maddie, he knows all the other cast of ghosts, if you want to call it that. Charlie, he knows them all and has no problem talking about that. He also has now let us know that the horse's name is Sugar, that runs through the barn. So we're excited to actually have a name of the horse.
Eddie, have you seen Sugar lately?
There we go. Okay.
Who's Sugar?
Sugar is the horse.
That's been seen below our feet, where the stable part is. And he's been seen walking through here. He's a white horse. He's got red eyes. But we now know who Sugar is because the owner called us out of the blue and said, that had heard the ghost story and said, hey, I know who that horse is. And gave us the full description and what an incredible horse that Sugar was.
On the 18th investigation, all of a sudden I got sick or something stupid like that, and I decided I better not attend the investigation that night. But the rest of the team, thank goodness I have such a good team, they went ahead and continued on without me, and I went over to what's known as the coach house and went to sleep. As these guys went on over to the hayloft, which is where Eddie is, they all of a sudden they figured out that Maddie was there too.
Eddie, did somebody just join us differently tonight?
Is it somebody we don't know yet?
How about Charlie? How about Maddie? Does Maddie ever come visit you in the barn? She does?
No kidding.
Is this something new, Eddie, that Maddie has just started recently doing? Yeah.
Wow.
Maddie's getting a little bit more comfortable about leaving the main building then.
Yeah.
Well, I bet Eddie watches out for her. You like to watch out for Maddie and keep her safe?
Well, we appreciate that, Eddie, watching over her, because she needs all the help she can get.
Are you here, Maddie? Maddie, if you're here, can you light up this light in the corner? Oh, hey, Maddie, it's great to see you. I don't usually see you outside the hallway.
Very unusual. Normally she's on that back staircase by the kitchen. But she was out there. They were asking him about me. Where's Tamla? Eddie and Maddie both wanted to know why I wasn't on that investigation.
Maddie, are you out here looking for Tamla?
Tamla's in the coach house and she's not feeling well, but I'm sure she'd love to hear from you.
Maddie, do you want to go talk to Tamla? You're welcome to.
that shows that when you do enough of these investigations, the ghosts get to know you. They really do. So, of course, the whole crew explained to them that I was over in the coach house. No lights when Eric had asked, Maddie, do you know what the coach house is?
Since you're able to come out to the barn, Maddie, can you go to the coach house? Or you can't.
Does she know it is the coach house? Could be the
Do
stage
you know what the
coach.
coach house is, Maddie?
So Eric, said, oh, that's right. You probably don't know what the coach house is because that's a newer name. Maddie, Tamala's over asleep in the saloon.
Okay, we're going to go back years prior to that, Maddie. The coach house used to be the saloon. Do you know the saloon? Okay, she's over at the saloon, Maddie. Would you like to go say hi to her?
It was just like she was gone. The lights went poof. Me, asleep, over in the coach house, I got woke up suddenly from a dead sleep. I mean, that type that you woke up so fast that you're actually shaking, and I realized somebody's in the room. I didn't know it was Maddie, but I knew it was somebody. And I kind of told them, I'm tired, leave me alone. And they went away. Never knowing that it might be Maddie. So not only did she make it to a whole nother building, but she also come in to check on me. So I kind of felt kind of special.
What historic preservation is all about, it's about memory. It's about our collective memory as human beings and Americans and people who honor and respect our past. If we lose the Elkhorn Lodge, if we lose any historic building, our memory is just reduced that much more. And so that's why the whole issue of historic preservation is so important. There are other reasons as well, but it's a matter of human memory, and it's also a matter of community pride.
Eddie, can you see all of this? Or can you only hear us?
So you can only hear us, Eddie? Is that correct? Well, at least we're glad you can hear us.
We're not sure why Eddie's still here. Perhaps it's the smell of fresh cut hay, or the beauty that surrounds this amazing property. Or maybe, like so many other spirits at the Elkhorn, he just can't bear to leave the place that holds so many memories. Memories that never really die.
Here.